You ever have one of those mornings where your whole life flips upside down before you've even had a chance to brush your teeth? Well, that's how my war with the Karen Queen of the HOA started. 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and suddenly there's a construction crew jackhammering a giant metal gate straight through my family ranch fence. No warning, no permission, just the grinding of drills and a blonde woman in a beige pantsuit waving fake legal papers in my face, declaring, "I own your ranch now." Yeah, that happened. She actually built a gate into my ranch yard and gave me a 24-hour countdown before the public could stroll right in. 24 hours. She had no clue what a determined rancher with a crew of good OL boys could pull off in one night. But she was about to find out. That morning, I was yanked out of bed by the kind of noise you feel in your bones. I staggered through the kitchen, still in my boxers and an old ranch shirt, grabbed yesterday's cold coffee, and looked out the window, only to see 5 guys in hard hats cementing a massive iron gate right smack on my property line. Not near it, not almost on it, on it. The posts were already sunk deep in my land. I bolted outside, no shoes, hair a mess, wet grass squishing between my toes, looking like a lunatic but too angry to care. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I hollered over the machines. The youngest worker, couldn't have been 20, shot me an apologetic look. "Sorry, man. She pays triple for weekend rush jobs. We need the work." I was about to ask, "Who the hell is she?" when I noticed an LED timer blinking over the gate. HOA access begins in 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. And then I heard her, the click-clack of heels on my gravel driveway. Veronica Sterling, the suburban nightmare herself, strutted toward us like she owned the world. Clipboard pressed to her chest, hair shellacked into perfection, badge bouncing that read, HOA President. And that attitude, you know the type. She flashed me a step-forward smile. "Good morning, Mr. Carter. Isn't our new community access gate just wonderful? All per the new regulations." She pointed at a crumpled, crayon-colored map that conveniently included my 50-acre ranch in their so-called HOA territory. "Oh, but it is now," she sing-songed. "We expanded last month. Didn't you check your spam folder?" Before I could answer, she had her phone out, live streaming to her followers. "Good morning, HOA family. We're installing our first community access gate, despite some resistance from certain neighbors." Hearts and thumbs up were flying on her screen. I wanted to snatch her phone and shout the truth, but what good would it do? She was painting me as the crazy rancher, classic move. "This is illegal," I said, trying to keep my hands steady. "You can't just claim my land. My family's owned this ranch for over 50 years. Veronica didn't miss a beat, turning the camera to the gate. "Phase 2 starts tomorrow. A lovely walking path through your pasture. Community spirit." She locked the gate with a flourish, dangles the keys in my face, and walked off snapping selfies. The construction guys finished in a hurry, clearly not wanting to stick around. As they left, I stood there thinking about my grandfather, who'd fought these HOA types 30 years ago and lost everything. His stables, his health, his savings. On his deathbed, he told me, "This land is our legacy, son. Never let anyone take it from you." I stared at that blinking timer. 20 hours, 46 minutes left. Veronica Sterling thought she'd won, thought I'd just roll over. But she didn't know me. I called my lawyer, then my buddy Mike, who ran a construction crew. "You got 20 hours? Let's make some magic happen." By nightfall, my driveway looked like a construction site. 3 trucks, trailers, 15 hard-hatted men. Mike just grinned. "Some fake HOA stealing your land? Hell, we've all got stories." We unloaded prefab brick panels. I spread out the legal permits on my truck hood. Unlike her, I had paperwork. The air was cool and tense. I'd even bought new security cameras that afternoon, top-notch, military-grade, because she'd already hacked my old ones with a malware HOA email. "Not happening again," I muttered, mounting the cameras myself at the T10 p.m. sharp. The real show began. Mike's excavator took out the metal posts, every piece filmed and photographed for evidence. By 11, we started laying brick. These weren't just any bricks. 8-inch thick, reinforced, 8 feet high. You sure you want it this tall? Mike asked. I want her to need a ladder just to see over it. I grinned. We mixed concrete stronger than sin, everyone working like their life depended on it. By 3 a.m., the wall was nearly done, motion sensors and floodlights wired up, and a big metal sign. Private property. Keep out. By sunrise, the only thing left of her gate was the LED timer, which we'd carefully removed and set aside. The wall stretched farther than her gate ever did, solid as a bank vault. Fog rolled in as we cleaned up, nature's own dramatic effect. The crew packed up, asking for updates. I promised to send videos. Then I stood there with a fresh, hot cup of coffee, admiring our work. The timer now read, HOA access begins in 0 hours, 37 minutes. Meanwhile, Veronica was online hyping up the grand opening. She'd even called the local news to cover her victory. I could see the news van arriving, dozens of neighbors gathering for her little celebration. 7:30 a.m., showtime. She showed up in a bright red blazer, scissors in hand, cameras rolling. Welcome to your new community access point, she announced, snipping the ribbon. The crowd surged forward and ran straight into 8 feet of solid brick wall. Dead silence. Someone dropped a coffee cup, the only sound for what felt like an eternity. Veronica's face did a whole speed run through the 5 stages of grief. First, she rubbed her eyes, then flushed with anger, tried to bargain, but the wall wasn't going anywhere. She shrieked, "What is this? Where's my gate? This is illegal." She kicked the wall so hard her designer heel snapped clean off. The news reporter started narrating live. The HOA president appears to be attempting to scale the wall, but her pencil skirt is proving a significant handicap. The crowd burst out laughing, half of them filming on their phones. I waited till the perfect moment, then strolled out, coffee in hand. Morning, Veronica. Nice weather for a wall viewing, isn't it? She spun, red with fury. You destroyed HOA property. I'll sue you. The news reporter thrust a mic in my face. Sir, did you build this wall overnight? I winked at the camera. Build what wall? This has been here for years. The crowd ate it up, a few folks even applauding. Veronica, livid, threatened lawsuits, but I sipped my coffee and told her, you'll find all the illegal gate parts neatly stacked by the road. The news crew was loving it. Some neighbors quietly came over. Did she really install that gate without permission? An old man whispered. She fined me $500 last month for a mailbox color, said another. A woman added, she made me pay $300 just to keep my garden gnomes. It hit me then. She'd been pulling this scam on half the neighborhood. 2 days of sweet victory. My wall video went viral, 5 million views and counting, headlines calling it the Great Wall of Texas. I felt pretty good, until the police showed up at my door. Mr. Carter, you're under arrest for threatening Veronica Sterling with a deadly weapon. What? I'd never threatened anyone. But the cops showed me security footage, my own system, of someone who looked like me waving an axe at Veronica, screaming threats. Problem was, I don't own an axe and I was in town at the bank when that video was supposedly filmed. That's when I remembered the malware HOA email. Deepfake. Veronica had hacked my cameras, faked the video, framed me. Thank God for Sarah, my neighbor, paralegal by day, vigilante by night, who'd been investigating Veronica for years. She showed me real HOA records. There was no president position. Veronica had been kicked off the board years ago, and every fine, every rule, every law she'd cited was fake. She'd scammed 47 households out of over $200,000. Sarah helped me rally the real HOA board and the victims, and we called an emergency meeting. 200 angry neighbors packed the community center as Sarah laid out the evidence. Fake websites, forged documents, voice recordings of Veronica extorting residents. And then Veronica barged in, screaming, I am the duly elected president. Sarah clicked to a slide, her termination letter. The room erupted. Cops arrested Veronica on the spot, and the whole place cheered. 6 months later, Veronica stood trial. Fraud, impersonation, theft, even commissioning that deepfake video to frame me. The judge was legendary. Guilty on all counts. Sentenced her to jail, then 1,000 hours of community service as a gatekeeper and tour guide at my ranch. Her job? Stand at the wall she tried to breach and tell every tour group how she faked her power, built an illegal gate, and ended up teaching property law to strangers. She wore a vest that read, "I pretended to be HOA president." Yeah, poetic justice. Tourists came from all over to see the wall. Veronica became an accidental celebrity. Kids asked, "Are you the bad lady from the videos?" Law students came for lectures on property rights. The ad revenue from my YouTube channel, Daily Karen Watch, went to help victims. Eventually, Veronica even apologized. She started using her humiliation to educate others about HOA fraud, working with Sarah on a Know Your Rights website, and, believe it or not, became a consultant to help catch other fakes. Some folks never change, but sometimes the best person to warn about a trap is someone who fell right into it. So tell me, if someone built a gate into your life and claimed to rule,